So good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again. We are going to talk about Mason Greenwood, Manchester United's forgotten man, should we say. There has been a major update on this guy. And obviously we all know we're not going to go back into the finer details of what may or may not have happened. But there is an update. Obviously, Man United were doing an investigation, an internal investigation to Mason Greenwood. Before we go through the outputs and the outcome of that and all of the nitty gritty, make sure you are smashing the like button, people. Champions League final is tonight, obviously 8 p.m. UK time. Go and check out the preview I've done on this channel and my prediction for that game. Check out the videos on the other channel as well. There's already 2 videos dropped on there. William Saliba has signed a new contract with Arsenal. Best news we have had so far since the season ended. And probably the most important signing we can make all summer. I also dropped a video as well, about half an hour before you're seeing this one, about no Rice bid yet. We haven't bid for Declan Rice yet. As I recorded these videos at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there is no bid for Declan Rice. And then at 11:15 tonight on the main channel, there's a video about Arsenal linked to Kai Havertz. So go and check that out as well. Anyway, feel free to hit the like button. Super thanks down below. Big up to everybody who does that. And make sure you are subscribing. But Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag is willing to bring Mason Greenwood back into the squad. He has made it clear that he is happy for the suspended striker 21 to play again after the charges of attempted assault and controlling and coercive behaviour were dropped earlier this year. Let's continue. However, the final decision is expected to be made by Manchester United's owners, the Glazer family, within the next week after concluding of a club investigation. Now, firstly, don't you think it's convenient that the club investigation has now been finished conveniently as the season's ended? So now there's less spotlight on Greenwood, less spotlight on Man United, less spotlight on Ten Hag and the Glazers. Not only this is all whilst there's a potential takeover bid for Man United. But a lot of the teammates are now reported to be happy to have Mason Greenwood back in the squad. They began their investigation back in January 2022, according to this. And now here we are in June 2023. He's expecting a child with his current partner, the one that he went through all of this with, and spent 18 weeks waiting for a decision after key witnesses withdrew their evidence, leading to charges being dropped in February. A source said Mason Greenwood is delighted to hear that the manager and most of his teammates would welcome him back. He firmly believes he is an innocent man and frustrated he's not been able to play. He understands that the club would have to have carried out an investigation, but feels his career is slipping by not being able to play. He and his teammates have made it clear to Manchester United that they now want to know what is happening. They have basically said, sack him or back him. If the club reintegrate him, then do so. If they want to sell him, then tell him. They're poets. If they want to loan him out, then tell him so the team can find the best club for him. Any return by Greenwood would spark major controversy, which is why they have waited for all of this until the end of the season to start putting this out, because they knew if the season was going on, it would be uproar. But anyway, let's continue. It was said that the women's team didn't want him back. Not quite sure what that's got to do with anything. It's 2 different teams, the women's team, the men's team. The feeling was said to be strong. Only 3 months ago, Natalie Burrell, founder of the United Women's Supporters Club, said she never wants to see him play for them again. Well, as far as I know, he doesn't play for the women's team. So what's that got to do with anyone? He plays for the men's team. What are you waffling about? She added, United need to make a statement, and letting him back would be the worst thing they could do. It would set our club back in terms of what we're trying to do with our women's team and campaigns like Her Game Too, which is to encourage women to play and watch football. I don't want to see him training in the kit or coming out at Old Trafford again. I'm confident they won't let him. Manchester United have already had contact with 3 Italian teams, Juve, AC and Inter, about a possible loan move, which would see Greenwood retain his 75 grand a week salary with an option of loan to buy. He has been getting paid this money the whole time as well, apparently. Greenwood, who has had one full cap for England, last kicked a ball for United in January 2022. He was arrested in the same month after a woman made an allegation. We're not going to go down that on social media. Immediately suspended on full pay. He was then charged in October. Yada, yada, yada. Nike ended the multi-million-pound sponsorship deal with him, while EA Sports removed the player from their FIFA 22 video game. The Crown prosecution withdrew the case on February the 2nd after witnesses refused to cooperate. Greenwood hoped the move would leave him clear to start playing for the club again, but the club instead immediately launched its own investigation. Meanwhile, United are in the middle of a potential sale. The owners want $6 billion, blah, 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 blah. All right, now listen. He has been found not guilty because there was no evidence. So why can't he play again? That's my thoughts on it. That was my thoughts on it when it happened and it was breaking news that it had all been dropped. So on that basis alone, he has not been found guilty of anything. So all of this irrelevant waffle in the middle is just irrelevant. If he's not been found guilty of something and he's still with the woman and due a baby with the woman, then why can't he play football for the club again? You know, whether you think that's right or wrong, it's irrelevant. There was no charges against the guy. He was charged and then the charges were dropped. He hasn't been found guilty of anything. Yeah, and social media is a funny thing at times because everyone's a freedom fighter. Everyone's, I'm an activist for this and this rights and that rights. The fact is, he's not been found guilty of anything. So why can't he play for Man United again? Whether you think he's done it or not done it is irrelevant. He's not been found guilty of doing it. Only the people that were there at the time know what happened. That's it. Whether I think he's done it or not, or whether you think he's done it or not, it's all irrelevant. The only people that know what happened are the girlfriend that he's with, that he's due to be getting married to very soon, and him. That's it. They're the only ones who knew what happened. And if they're still in a loving relationship, looking to get married and having a baby together, then that's it, as far as I'm concerned. Listen, you guys might think differently to this, and I know it's going to cause uproar with some people, but at the end of the day, that's just my thoughts on it. If they're still in a relationship together and they're still happy to be together and they're having a baby together and getting married, then who is everybody else to start condemning whether he's allowed to play football again or not? Like, for me, it's just all irrelevant. Yeah, whether it's at Manchester United or not remains to be seen. But if Ten Hag wants him, he's staying at Man United. Yeah, and Ten Hag is the gaffer for the foreseeable. They ain't sacking him anytime soon. Yeah, whether that causes uproar with the women's team, whether that causes uproar with some of the fans, some of the media outlets, some of the sponsorships coming into the club that may be terminated because he is playing again. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not in charge of all of this. I'm just giving you my opinion on it. He's not been found guilty of a crime. Therefore, he should be allowed to continue his career. That's it. If he had been found guilty for it, he'd be serving time in jail with some of the other prison FC footballers. But he hasn't. He's a free man, and he should be allowed to continue his footballing career. You know, yes, it's going to be very difficult for him because we know how football fans are, and he's going to get a lot of backlash. He is going to get a lot of backlash, especially on the first game back. But I'm sure, listen, if he plays for Man United again, I'm sure after he starts scoring a few goals, I'm sure Man United fans wouldn't care less because football fans are a fickle bunch. Yeah, and let's be real with it. He is an extremely talented footballer. Not been found guilty of a crime. Why can't he play football again? Just my thoughts and feelings on it, people. Listen, you may have different thoughts and feelings. I'd love to know. Leave it in the comments section. You know, you may think that he has done it. I may think that he has done it. But the fact and reality is he's not been found guilty in a court of law of doing the alleged things. So it is what it is, isn't it? Look, at the end of the day, I'm just glad that this isn't currently happening at my football club. Although some of you will start putting names in the chats. Yeah, again, until we get the outcome of any alleged offences of other footballers, we can only sit here as hearsay with it. So it is what it is. And listen, I don't care whether he plays football again or not. I'm not marrying him. I'm not related to him. I'm just giving my opinion on it. But it is what it is. Listen, smash the like button up. You know I don't shirk away from the controversial decisions on this channel and the controversial stories. I say what I think, and it is what it is. But listen, at 25 past 2 on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in sunny Spain, I'm going to a barbecue. I've recorded all my videos. Make sure you check them all out, people. I do appreciate you. Make sure you stick a like on the video, sub to the channel, sub to the other channel, leave your donations via the super thanks option, and all have a blessed weekend, whatever it is you're doing. The Champions League finals tonight. Go and check out my video earlier on this channel about that, my preview to that. Saliba and Shai Havertz videos on the other channel. And no, the Shai Havertz video will be out at 11:15 tonight. Saliba and Rice videos are already out. Adios, amigos. All have a blessed day, man. Take care. Later.